The investigation that has been ongoing revealed that Ms. Quintana intentionally gave her children alcohol and NyQuil and encouraged them to consume those substances before entering the water together.
Authorities have just confirmed chilling details about what really happened at a luxurious Texas property almost 4 weeks ago. A mother now stands accused of drugging her own children with tequila and cold medicine before attempting to end their lives in a backyard pond. But the reason behind her actions has left investigators with more questions than answers. According to officials, she had mapped out 2 different strategies. The first involved gathering their things and fleeing the house. The second option would only come into play if escape proved impossible. Texas authorities recently provided crucial updates about this case, describing their initial response as unlike anything they'd encountered before. While some mysteries have been solved, others remain unsolved, particularly concerning the suspect's husband, whose role in these events continues to puzzle everyone involved. This is On the Case, brought to you by Law and Crime. Chris Stewart reporting. The District Attorney for Liberty County, Texas shared everything currently available about this perplexing situation that's held our attention for nearly 30 days. The incident occurred at a property located beyond Houston's city limits, a stunning $4.5 million estate sitting on extensive rural land. The woman at the center of these accusations is Jessica Quintana, a 39-year-old mother of 3. Those 3 children are the victims we're discussing today. She remains behind bars on $3 million bail, charged with 2 counts of causing bodily harm to a child and 1 count of assault with injury following the events of September 29. Before diving into the prosecutor's statements about their investigation and current findings, let's revisit how this nightmare began on that September morning. Radio transmissions captured the chaos. Officers rushing toward this isolated mansion complex reported 4 children on scene and multiple bottles discovered throughout the property. Law enforcement arrived to find a situation they'd later struggle to describe. One officer's words captured it perfectly: "What we encountered today was both strange and overwhelming." According to deputies, Domingo Quintana, Jessica's husband, made the emergency call. However, his booking photo stems from a separate incident. A low-level animal cruelty charge filed after officers discovered what they described as malnourished animals when they arrived at the property that morning. More details about potential charges against him related to the alleged drowning attempts are coming, but first, here's what the district attorney revealed about their work so far. Officers from Liberty County Sheriff's Office arrived after receiving a 911 report describing an attempted murder-suicide situation. Upon arrival, they discovered Miss Quintana unconscious in a pond alongside 3 of her children, teenagers aged 15 and 11, plus a 6-year-old. The middle child wasn't responsive, while the other 2 were awake but obviously suffering. The ongoing investigation uncovered that Miss Quintana deliberately provided her children with alcohol and cold medicine, urging them to consume both before they all went into the water. Medical records, toxicology tests, and witness accounts confirmed the children ingested these substances. Officers collected numerous empty cold medicine bottles, an empty tequila container, and additional evidence supporting these findings. Jessica and her children were rushed to emergency care. She and her 11-year-old required helicopter transport to Houston due to their critical status. Jessica only left the hospital this past Friday, immediately entering police custody in Liberty County. The question haunting everyone: why would any mother drug her children with cold medicine and vodka before allegedly trying to drown them and herself? This portion of the press conference has sparked intense speculation about what was really happening inside that mansion. The arrest documents reveal that Miss Quintana's teenage daughter provided investigators with disturbing information. Her mother had developed 2 separate plans. The first plan meant packing up and leaving the house. The backup plan would only be activated if leaving became impossible. Miss Quintana and the children attempted to leave on September 28 but failed. Hours later, in the pre-dawn darkness of September 29, Miss Quintana activated her backup strategy. She directed the children to consume the alcohol and medicine mixture until they felt disoriented. Then they would either roll themselves into the water or she would push them in once they lost consciousness. Fortunately, things didn't unfold as she'd planned, and her backup strategy couldn't be completed. When pressed for details about why Jessica's departure attempt failed the night before and what drove her to allegedly choose killing her children and herself as an alternative, the district attorney declined to elaborate. However, she did address Domingo Quintana, Jessica's husband and father of the 3 young victims. He's remained an enigma since this story broke. While he placed the 911 call and deputies reported his cooperation initially, He soon faced that misdemeanor animal cruelty charge after officers discovered allegedly starving animals on the grounds. Certainly, neglected animals represent a serious concern. Yet questions persist about the timing. Why file such a minor charge on the same day his wife allegedly attempted to murder his children? Given the traumatic nature of that day's events, the misdemeanor seemed oddly timed. A search through truthfinder.com, a valuable resource for understanding the people in our stories, shows Jessica Quintana's profile linked to the property where these alleged drowning attempts occurred. Regarding criminal background, Truthfinder excels at revealing any prior law enforcement encounters. Jessica Quintana's record shows no previous criminal activity. Here at Law and Crime, our partnership with Truthfinder helps us gather details about individuals in our coverage. Even if you're not working in true crime, this resource offers peace of mind as one of America's largest public record search platforms. With their paid subscription, you access unlimited reports on nearly anyone. Currently, they're offering 50% off your first month of confidential background checks. Visit truthfinder.com/OTC. Domingo Quintana's employment represents another puzzle piece. When officers asked about his occupation on that September day, keeping in mind he owned this multimillion-dollar mansion, police indicated he sold vehicles, though they couldn't verify this claim. Officers reported that the father helped extract people from the water. When deputies showed up, the children were soaked, the father was drenched, and the mother remained in the pond. Deputies themselves pulled the mother from the water. When asked if they were concentrating on the mom as the main suspect, officials stated they weren't focusing specifically on either parent. Both remained under scrutiny. Despite Domingo Quintana's mysterious presence throughout this story, here's what the prosecutor stated regarding potential charges connected to the alleged drowning attempts of his children. Based on current facts and discovered evidence, the children's father will not face any charges related to this attempted murder-suicide scheme. This image shows Domingo Quintana arriving at court for custody proceedings. The children's custody has added another complicated layer to this case. CPS representatives testified at a hearing that when asked about their father, the children reacted negatively, yet expressed desire to see their mother. Jessica received permission for one supervised hour with the children while hospitalized. The district attorney refused to provide additional family details during this press conference, but here's information we've gathered since this story emerged. Records show this family occupied that enormous mansion, titled Rancho Monte Carlo, since 2017, constructing the massive residence on the land themselves. Simultaneously, evidence suggests the Quintanas face severe financial troubles. A judgment from January this year followed a 2023 lawsuit against Quintana in Harris County, Houston's location, categorized as debt, contract fraud, and misrepresentation. While we lack documents detailing the case specifics, the court sided with the plaintiff. Documents indicate Quintana owed over $138,000. We also located an active Liberty County case accusing Quintana of years of unpaid taxes on a 72-acre property. The lawsuit claims he owes more than $43,000. Regarding Jessica Quintana, she's listed as owner of a Houston property where she's allegedly over $18,000 behind on taxes according to the Harris County Tax Collector's website. Whether these civil problems factor into September 29th's events and whether financial stress influenced what Jessica Quintana now stands accused of remains unclear. Another strange development, and this story has no shortage of strange developments, involves Domingo Quintana and his jail visitor before bonding out on that animal cruelty misdemeanor. Liberty Police Lieutenant Romero Lozano visited him. Notably, his agency wasn't handling the investigation. That responsibility fell to the Liberty County Sheriff's Office and Texas Rangers. What Lieutenant Lozano discussed with Domingo Quintana behind bars remains unknown. Media captured Quintana leaving jail, covering his face and refusing all questions. Lieutenant Lozano reportedly drove the getaway vehicle. Lieutenant Lozano is currently on administrative leave pending an internal investigation's outcome. A mother's responsibility involves protecting her children, loving them, keeping them safe from all harm. That's every parent's obligation. When this sacred responsibility is broken, it cuts deep into a community's heart and requires legal accountability. It often leaves us wondering why. Since this case involves minor children and remains actively prosecuted by our office, no further details can be disclosed currently. Though this press conference clarified much and painted a picture of what law enforcement believes happened, numerous questions persist about what was occurring inside that mansion. When asked if Domingo Quintana might face charges beyond his animal cruelty misdemeanor, the district attorney said she couldn't comment. Here's additional information she shared with media during today's press conference, as reported by KPRC-TV in Houston. Officers from Liberty County Sheriff's Office responded after receiving a 911 report describing an attempted murder-suicide. Upon arrival, they discovered Miss Quintana unresponsive in a pond with 3 of her children, aged 15, 11, and 6. The 11-year-old wasn't responsive, and 2 other children were conscious but clearly suffering. The ongoing investigation revealed that Miss Quintana deliberately provided her children with alcohol and cold medicine, encouraging consumption before entering the water together. We confirmed their consumption through medical records, toxicology tests, and witness statements. Officers recovered numerous empty cold medicine bottles, an empty tequila container, and additional consistent evidence. According to arrest documents, Miss Quintana's teenage daughter told investigators her mother developed 2 plans. The first involved packing belongings and departing the residence. The backup plan would only activate if leaving proved impossible. Miss Quintana and the children attempted departure on September 28 but failed. Subsequently, in the early morning hours of September 29, Miss Quintana executed her backup strategy. She instructed the children to consume the alcohol and medicine mixture until feeling disoriented, then either roll themselves into the water or wait for her to push them in once unconscious. Thankfully, events didn't unfold as planned, and the backup strategy failed. Following the backup plan's activation, all 3 children were transported to Memorial Hermann Hospital in the medical center. Miss Quintana and 1 child required helicopter transport due to critical condition. 2 other children traveled by ground ambulance to Memorial Hermann. Toxicology testing confirmed elevated alcohol and acetaminophen levels in the children's systems. This case received thorough investigation by Liberty County Sheriff's Office with Texas Rangers' assistance. Our office carefully reviewed the evidence and confidently states the facts fully support filed charges. Our office has participated since the beginning, as requested by investigatory agencies. Over recent weeks, substantial speculation and misinformation has surrounded this case. We're conducting today's press conference to eliminate those rumors and provide the public with accurate, verified information. Every decision has been guided solely by evidence, not rumors, speculation, or social media commentary. One specific piece of misinformation circulating claims a Liberty County Sheriff's Office employee connected to this case. Let me clarify, Romero Lozano, referenced in recent media coverage, was or is employed by another Liberty County law enforcement agency. He wasn't employed by Liberty County Sheriff's Office currently and wasn't associated with this investigation whatsoever. Further, based on this case's facts and uncovered information and evidence as of today, the children's father won't be charged with any crimes related to this attempted murder-suicide plot. A mother's responsibility is protecting her children, loving them, keeping them safe from harm. That's every parent's duty. When this sacred duty is violated, it strikes a community's heart and demands legal accountability. It often leaves us asking why. Because this case involves minor children and remains an active prosecution by our office, no additional details can be released currently. Lastly, I want to express sincere appreciation to Liberty County Sheriff's Office, Texas Rangers, Memorial Hermann's medical professionals, and Child Protective Services. They've all worked tirelessly and compassionately on this case. Our office remains committed to seeking justice for these 3 children and ensuring truth is fully and accurately presented in court. Now I'll entertain several questions. We can proceed in an orderly manner. If I can answer something, I'll gladly do so. If not, I'll absolutely inform you. Any indication why these plans were developed? Any evidence of violence? Not currently. I can't really comment on that. Actually, there's an officer involved with potential policy violations at his agency, and our office doesn't investigate those matters, nor are we involved in such things. Are you investigating the father? Not for this incident, but are there possibly other charges related to? I can't comment on that. What would you say the plan was? Allegedly trying to escape. I'd say plan A was departure. Could you explain what prevented that and how it failed? I can't comment on that. Their reaction to their father? I can't comment on that either. That's a CPS matter relegated to CPS court. She wasn't cooperating with. I can't comment on that either. Sorry. What happens next? She has $1 million bond on her case. Charging documents were filed this morning by our office. At some point, once the court schedules it, she'll appear in whatever court receives the assignment. I'm not aware which court it's been assigned to currently. The matters will eventually be presented to a grand jury. Were these results about what's happening? I can't comment on that. You mentioned substantial speculation exists. People who know the family, who've been involved with the father, have steadfastly stated they felt she was driven to it, that whatever happened he played a role in causing the situation. I know you don't want to comment on whether or not he has any. It's not about wanting to comment. I cannot. I'm prohibited by my oath from commenting on that. I cannot do that. Any other questions? Yes, Bluebonnet News. There's speculation the father was connected to cartels. Is that just rumors or? I can't comment. I've not seen anything substantiating that. Anything else? Anyone here from Liberty Police Department? There's nobody from that department, so they'd be the only ones able to comment on that. No, I have an investigator from my office, a prosecutor, and 2 individuals from the sheriff's office. If that's all the questions, thank you for being here today. As this case continues to unfold, one thing remains painfully clear. The line between love, fear, and desperation can sometimes blur in the most tragic ways. Questions still linger about what truly happened inside that Texas mansion and what drove a mother to such unthinkable actions. Justice will take its course, and we'll be here to follow every update as it happens. Thank you for watching this episode on Thekus Files True Crime, where we bring you real stories that demand answers. If you found this video insightful, don't forget to like, share, and subscribe to stay updated on the next shocking case. Until next time, stay curious, stay safe, and keep watching Thekus Files True Crime.